Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. The US has hit a new low and it's pretty pathetic. According to a report issued by the democracy watchdog group called Freedom House, the US is now on par with countries like Panama and Romania in regard to political rights and civil liberties. We even rank behind Argentina and Mongolia. Freedom House noted that the US dropped by 11 points over the past year, earning a score of 83 out of 100. And for comparison's sake, the UK and Chile are scored at 93. So remember, we're 10 points below that. Costa Rica scored 91, and Slovakia scored a 90. The vice president of Freedom House is a woman named Sarah Rapucci. She told reporters that an 11-point drop is unusual, and particularly for an established democracy, because typically established democracies are stable. Freedom House detailed the following concerns as the reason for this decline in the US's ranking. They said that inequities facing minority groups, especially Black and Native Americans, and in particular, they cited the criminal justice and voting systems and the inequities that they have to deal with in those two areas as one of the reasons. The second reason they gave was a lack of public trust in the government due to the fact that the wealthy have an outsized influence over our politicians and the political system as a whole. Another issue they pointed to is the partisan gerrymandering of voting districts to give one party an edge over the other. In fact, the report said that the gerrymandering in this country, quote, has the most corrosive and radicalizing effect on US politics. This watchdog group also warned that a change of president or overall administration isn't going to correct these issues. What they said is that these are long-term challenges and they require systemic changes, essentially before it's too late, before we lose our democracy completely. So just because Democrats are in charge right now, it's not going to cut it, especially when they're doing everything in a way that is only temporary, like all of Biden's executive orders that can just be overturned by the next Republican president. Same thing that happened with Obama. That's why Trump was able to just walk in and easily overturn everything that Obama had done, because he did so much through executive order rather than getting rid of the frickin' filibuster, as we should do now, and getting people to vote and getting things passed through as actual law. So in their report, they do provide 3 factors that they point to as a way to regain American democracy and to maintain it and keep it strong moving into the future. The first one they said was removing barriers to voting, something that Republicans are trying to do more of right now, erecting more barriers to voting, unfortunately. The second thing they noted was limiting the influence of money in politics. Again, we have to get rid of money in politics. The third thing they noted was establishing an independent commission to redraw district maps. So that way it will be done in a fair manner. So it doesn't benefit Democrats, it doesn't benefit Republicans. It's just a district. You get what you get. And what do you know? That H.R. 1 bill that I've talked about on the show, which passed the House, it's now awaiting a vote in the Senate. It's called SR 1 in the Senate. It would do all of these things. But here's the deal, guys. As I mentioned on the show, unless the filibuster is abolished, SR 1 has 0 chance of passing in the Senate. Even if the filibuster is abolished, don't expect establishment bought and paid for hack Democrats to vote for it without a tremendous amount of public pressure. SR 1 would put an end to a great deal of the corruption in DC, which they all profit from, with very few exceptions, only the people who don't take corporate money. So both establishment Republicans and Democrats are going to be against it. And I believe it's one of the primary reasons that Joe Manchin is already setting up these paper tigers and saying that he won't vote to end the filibuster and he's not going to vote for any bill that doesn't have bipartisan support. He knows this bill is coming, and he knows that all eyes are going to be on him. Manchin wants an excuse. He wants to use Republicans as cover for his corporate greed-driven positions. Democrats like Manchin love to blame Republicans for policies and bills that they would never vote for anyway. They're the perfect excuse for why nothing can get done. They pretend as if they have no power, there's nothing we can do, our hands are tied, which is complete and total bullshit. And let's keep it real. Joe Biden doesn't really care or want SR1 to pass either. And he can prove me wrong if he does, but I don't believe that he does, because he would be pressuring all Democrats to vote for it, and he would be pressuring them to nuke the filibuster. Instead of nibbling around the edges and trying to make changes to the filibuster, which isn't going to do anything. It's not going to change the number of people you need to vote on a bill. If everyone shows up, and everyone's there while they're filibustering, while they're on the floor reading Green Eggs and Ham or whatever the hell they plan on doing, you're still going to need 60 votes. And you know for damn sure not a single Republican is going to vote for it, because there's not a single Republican who is like the progressives on the Democratic side. Every Republican takes corporate money. Every one of them has a vested interest in keeping the greed and the corruption in place. You know, Biden has already broken his promise on the $15 minimum wage. So I'm not going to hold my breath, but I welcome the chance to be floored and surprised by Biden. All right, guys. I will keep you posted on all of this. As always, take care. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk with you soon.